Hey guys, it's Trevor with Red Records. Here today to show you the second part of the Superior Drummer series. Today we're going to be focusing on the Grooves tab and seeing how we can create a song right inside the Superior plugin. Alright, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So I've got the same kit loaded up as before from the previous Drums tab video where we explored the Drums tab. Same exact kit, right? And now we face the dilemma that we need drums for our song, right? There's no drums for it. So the song should have drums starting right here on the verse. So wherever the cursor is in your DAW, it should line up with your cursor here in Superior as well. Okay, so everything's nice and together. Now, let's start making a groove. Okay, so this is an indie song. We're looking for some chill laid back stuff. But look at this whole library here. I mean, this is pretty daunting. There's a lot of stuff to choose from. Pretty much what Superior does here is it expedites the process for you. You just choose what your song is and what it needs. All right, so that's all this stuff up here. So this is a indie rock alternative-ish song, so I'll choose the pop rock or country. But whatever your song is, you would choose that here. There's a bunch of different genres. Right? Continuing, we probably want standard type beats. A beat, right? You got swing beats though. You got endings, just percussion stuff, half time, double time, all kinds of different drumming types. Our time signature here, it's in 4/4. And the power hand I typically lose, or not lose, but keep off, um, just so I can hear all the different options that are available to me. I would really only come to this tab if I was dead set on like it needs to have a ride, right? But I'm not sure exactly what this needs, so I'm going to leave that off. And we can see all of these here, all of the things that we've selected so far on this top tab here. We can clear all, or we can search specifically for what we already know. Typically, I find this to be the easiest way to do it. And then we've got our different libraries loaded into the computer. So we'll just use the Superior library. And we're looking for straight 4/4 verse, right? Everything's just nice and expedited here. If we needed a swinged chorus, we would go to swing chorus, and now we get our all of the things that we've already selected up top here, all of that stuff, and this part of the song and type, right? It's very expedited. And then we get a nice little selection of beats for us that we can choose from now and listen to. Now you'll notice on a lot of these it'll give you the BPMs that they were recorded at, and that's simply where they're like what they were recorded at. Not that you can't use these in a faster song or a slower song, right? They all work. Just listen to them in your song and see if it works, right? So let's just listen to this one here. That's pretty much what I was looking for, but if you wanted to hear something else, a bunch of different variations, a little more flashy hi-hat if you wanted, right? What about this one? You see, so it's all kind of in that same genre and in those same um, specifications that we've already outlined for Superior. They all sound like that, right? That one's pretty cool as well. But like, I'm just gonna keep it simple and use this one. Now, if you like a beat, you're gonna drag it to the starting point of where your song is. Mine is on the 6th bar of the song. And now, if we hit play, we're gonna actually hear this beat in real time with our song, right? Pretty easy, right? Now, a couple things that you can do, all right, if you didn't like this specific beat, okay, double click on the MIDI selection here, and we've got a couple different tabs that we can adjust. We've got the playstyle and grid editor. Both of these are really cool tools. The playstyle I don't really use much just because it's more randomized than I like, but simply you'll select a drum, whether any drum that's in this beat. Let's just do the snare, for example, and you can actually set what the velocity is going to be for every single one of those snares, which for me takes a little bit of the human out of it, but you can always add it back later if you want. So we'll just keep that there, but you can bring that all the way to 127 or make them like ghost notes, very, very soft notes, right? Up to you. And then this here, we have a total of 8 snare hits inside our selection here inside this clip. And you can actually see if you look closely here They're highlighted in black here, so you can see the drum, right, that we're talking about and how many hits are there. Now, this is a pretty cool feature where you can actually raise the amount of hits, and look, it just randomly adds extra hits inside of our clip, which is pretty cool. So now let's listen to this. So these might be really good snare parts for ghost notes. I don't know. Like, that sounds really good, actually, if they were ghost notes. Now, what you can do with this is actually go to our grid editor now that you've got some extra notes to play around with, right? And it looks like it already made a lot of these ghost notes. Like, we can actually select the track that we're using here and see the velocities in real time for that track. Or we can select the entire 3 drums being used in this little clip and see all of the velocities down here and adjust them accordingly. We have an entire MIDI editor inside of this plugin. It's crazy. You can select up here on this top tab to just to snap or to not snap to your grid, which you adjust here. All of the different types of subdivisions, right? Wholes, halves, quarters, eighths, sixteenths, so on and so forth. We'll just keep it on sixteenths for now. You can quantize anything. You can make it swing a little bit more or randomize it, which is a fun feature. The select feature is really cool, I've found. If we just wanted to select the on beats of these hi-hats, instead of doing this, click, shift, click, or command, or if you're on, Windows, you would hold, what would you hold? Alt, I believe, right? Instead of doing that, we can simply highlight the entire hi-hat track and select the whole notes here, right? So now we've got the downbeats only, okay? Now what we can do is we can invert that selection, and now we've got all of the notes that are not the downbeats, and we can just delete them if we want, right? Pretty crazy, much easier than just clicking through each of them. Now let's undo that though. What if we selected eighth, maybe quarter notes only? And we want to exclude the on beats. That's also another way that you can get really fine-tuned, and you can just delete those, right? And you can do that on any track. It's pretty cool. And yeah, this is going to be like any MIDI editor that you see in your DAW, but right here in the plugin. So you don't have to go back and forth. It's just here, okay? There's nothing much really else to talk about in here. That's really what you're going to be using this stuff for. Let's continue with creating our song though, right? So we've got our beat here. I might actually, while I'm in there, right? Let's go back to that grid editor, and let's take these snares and let's bring down. Let's bring these down, right? Because I don't want these to be super loud, so we can actually just highlight all of those and bring it down. Now we've got some more. They're much more ghost note type. Right, and we wouldn't have had those if we didn't use the edit playstyle feature. So it's just like you can get really creative with this stuff and find out things that work for your song that you didn't think worked for your song before. Okay, so we've got a verse, and we got to figure out how long this verse lasts too. So the verse actually lasts all the way up to the chorus, which is bar, let's see, bar 14 it looks like. So we'll actually stretch this all the way to bar 14. Sorry, not stretch. We can actually just copy this. Right, whatever copy key is in your DAW. For Mac, it's Option, so you would hold Option and drag it over. Yeah, and now we can listen to the song through here. Right? So it's going to be this twice, and then we'll come up to the chorus. Notice we have nothing in the track at all, right? This is all inside the DAW. And then we would jump into the chorus Now I had that loop on, and if you have the loop on, your song will actually continue to play in your DAW and loop whatever section you've got here. But let's go ahead and turn that off. So now if we move forward in the song, in the DAW, which we're trying to find a chorus now, so we wouldn't want to keep repeating the verse. Now it's going to play from line 14 here, okay? Which is our chorus. So now we need to look for a chorus. We'll simply go from this verse to a chorus. Easy, right? And let's listen to these. Ah, we bring in the ride. I don't really need to even look further. I like that one. So we're gonna throw it in there, right next to it, right? And we're gonna see how long the chorus is. So the chorus actually lasts until 19th bar. That's actually pretty close. Let's go ahead and listen to this real quick. Let's listen to this and see if we need anything else, right? Ah, I see. So like here, like they have a fill that happens like right here, right? Yeah, like right here. So I would actually just put that there. You can hit the cut tool and cut off that fill and just delete it, right? And you can add other stuff behind that, right? You kind of get the idea of how this works. Kind of drag and drop, make your song. Now, there's an even more expedited process for this, I know. I know you're like, how can it get even more expedited? It's pretty crazy. So we're going to go ahead and say, I don't like any of that stuff that I just did, right? We're going to go back to the verse starting point. Let's go back to the 6th bar in our song. And we're going to pull up this little thing called Song Creator, okay? And we're going to go back to that verse beat that we liked at first. And we're just going to drag that into these MIDI drop zone here. And it's given us Superior's recommendation for intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, fills, and endings. And it gives us about 10 to 15 options for each, sometimes less. But let's just listen to these in intro here. All right, nice and laid back, verse. Here's the source file, right? So we'd probably just use that. Pre-chorus. Cool. Sounds pretty similar, right? And you can explore these yourself, but typically, in my experience, you're going to find stuff that does work really well together. And it's a good, solid foundation for you to go in and then edit behind it, right? Really fine-tune it from there instead of wasting a bunch of time like building the same thing from like the ground up. It's expedited for you already, right? And you've got fills that, like a bunch of fills that you can kind of throw in wherever that are in this style, okay? And from here, you would just simply drag and drop to make your song, okay? And, you know, once you've got this song ready, if you wanted, you know, all of the MIDI to be in your DAW, you would simply highlight all the MIDI and drag it into your track. Nice and easy, right? One more thing in this Grooves tab before I let you go. If you notice up here, tap to find. And we can actually build kind of a beat in here. I don't use this feature too much, but if you're looking for a very specific type of beat, like a swing beat or whatever, you can actually tap in that rhythm, and it will pull up all of the rhythms for you immediately in your DAW. But hey, that's the Grooves tab. Kind of a quick overview, summary of everything that you can do in there. Like I said, I mean, it's just songwriting 101 right here inside of your plugin, which is just really nice. We don't have to be back and forth from the plugin to the DAW at all, which is really what this plugin excels at, in my opinion. So we have a couple more tabs to discuss in later videos. We've got the Mixer tab, and we've also got the Tracker tab to really fully utilize this plugin that we have here. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in so far to the first 2 videos. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, alright? See ya.